loaded, and this is going to be Cloud Kingdom. And it's my pleasure to bring you Millennium Stephano in the red trunks, playing Zerg to the northeast. Versus his opponent, it is TSL Symbol, currently up 1 game in this best-of-3 series. Match point for him to get through to the finals. He is in the blue trunks playing Zerg to the southwest.
And I think Wolf, just brought up the nail in the coffin, which is Stephano's control was not good enough.
No, it wasn't.
He let his Banelings die too easily, could have protected them easier, and I guess he could have added on a Spine Crawler to fortify that natural, because all he had to do was defend. That's all he had to do. He had a 6 drone lead, of course, building a Spine Crawler to put that to 5, but still was in a great position. He had the equipment necessary to defend, which is the underline.
Indeed, he did not, and he allowed his queens to be taken out of play, and as soon as that happened, it was just turn on the faucet there for Symbol, because he knows every wave is going to be much stronger than anything Stephano can actually bring out. That Savior Baneling hit that Stephano needed to turn that around and actually get his queens back up behind that simply did not happen. Nice little run-bys by him to get rid of the Banelings at the back, but it's just too little too late for Stephano. And what have we got coming up this time? We're actually getting gas first from Symbol this time around. Interesting twist. And a spawning pool from Stephano before gas.
Yeah, gas first for Symbol. So he's actually using the same build Stephano used last, but Stephano's actually got a nice build here, going spawning pool first, and then we'll look to get the expansion. Depends on when he takes his gas, so it's going to be key. But so far, this is pretty good for Stephano. Symbol's kind of rolled the dice a little bit and said, well, let's hope the Stephano expands before spawning pool. Maybe I can get the early advantage in this game. Maybe I can early topple. But the advantages and disadvantages this rolling the dice, per se, kind of gives you is so small and can be easily reverted. Like Stephano had a small opportunity, didn't capitalize on it, gets changed and turned around. So Symbol's going to move in now, spot this hatchery. And upon seeing the hatchery, he now knows that Stephano has gone spawning pool, extractor potentially, then hatchery, and they both well, not both, but yes, they both actually, sorry, they do both know their own builds just by seeing the hatchery on the natural, and likewise for Stephano, the lack of a hatchery on the expansion of Symbol.
Indeed. Right, so it's hold time here for Stephano. Symbol's going to try and turn on the pressure. If he doesn't, of course, he will be behind economically, and he's going to try and do the same thing that Stephano did, which is to take out as many drones as possible. How many drones do you think he needs to take to make this worthwhile? And don't you dare say 4. I know that's 1 more than Stephano took out, but for this attack to be as effective as you would hope.
I mean, he doesn't even need to kill drones, to be honest. If he just keeps the natural from not mining, that's a big win as well. But any drone count, 1, 2 is enough just to try and make something happen here. Running game like this is not going to do anything, and that actually is a nice little maneuver there by Stephano, who kills a Ling nice and early, has a Spine Crawler coming down here as well, and look at the average map time there for Symbol on this map, 23, but Stephano, well, either way, he's going to win or lose on average time by the 12-minute mark. Is he going to fall out this tournament by 12 minutes, or is he going to pull this back? We do see a Baneling Nest coming down for his opponent, Symbol, who is playing the aggressor in this game. Stephano, though, has 50 gas now in the bank. Where's that Baneling Nest? Where is it, Stephano?
Yeah, we didn't see it from him as quickly as possible, one would think, unless he's got some other plan coming, hatching in his mind. You would think that the Baneling Nest would follow here, but I noticed that Symbol didn't go quite as aggressive this time around as Stephano did, and didn't really achieve an awful lot at all in the process. I have to wonder if that gives Stephano the edge, and we'll also notice now, as the Baneling Nest finally comes down here for Stephano, that he does have that Spine Crawler in effect.
And Stephano has a natural advantage because Symbol didn't do that much, despite the supply being equal. Stephano has more drones at this current point, 25 versus 23, and more lava, more importantly, because of that early hatchery. And he does have a Baneling Nest coming down. 3 Banelings are being morphed on the Xel'Naga tower for Symbol. Here it comes again. Is Stephano going to defend? Baneling Nest not ready for Stephano. It's still seconds away, and already Symbol's coming.
Here we go, folks. We're going to have a little look at the first-person view here from Symbol. Let's see where he goes. For over 400 APM at this point. Excellent target fire here right now from Stephano. Only a single Baneling goes up, does nothing.
He gets the Baneling. So big for Stephano, and Stephano's looking okay.
Yes, he is indeed. And let's see if he can shut this aggression down. Are there any more banelings morphing in for Symbol? There are 2 more coming in. They're not coming into effect just yet, however. Stephano's baneling, there's some defensive banelings coming in, and Stephano looks to have shut this down completely.
Easily shut that down there. 34 drones to 32, but he's about to have 38. Stephano takes a good lead here. And there are still units on the map here. Let's have a look at the unit tab, and it actually shows us 18 for Symbol, 15 for Stephano. That's more than enough to continue drone production, and we will move on to the next stage of this game. The layer has been put down, the extractor thrown down as well for Stephano, who's going to try and get to that comfort roach and Evo style, but he's playing against an opponent who is playing the same style. There's the APM. Look how fast Symbol is playing, but Stephano, oh no, look at that great baneling hit by Stephano, but as I was trying to squeeze out, and as Zergus is very difficult to get sentences complete here, is that Stephano loves to play Roach, Evo, and that's Roach upgrades versus Roach upgrades.
More banelings morphing in right here for Stephano, and nice cancellations, and I have no idea what that actually means.
Don't know there. And
does he want a lollipop?
I don't know, man.
Someone get him a lollipop, good lord. The man needs sugar.
Third hatchery going to come down for Stephano. Will come down shortly, or should be coming down shortly for Symbol. No, actually, wait. 16 roaches. Oh my god. I didn't even see the roach roaring down. 16 roaches on the way here. Stephano's still droning. He's at 43, about to be at 49. The roaches are being hidden from Stephano in the main base of Symbol. Stephano, where's his roach when it's down? Where are the roaches in production?
Only just started. Now, these 2 lings are going to miss the roaches. He sees a couple more now. He'll see them. And suddenly, horror on the way over this particular map, and it's not a long jog distance, even with slow roach speed.
He's going to have to cancel his third base, but he should be okay to hold this, because he's got a spine curl, he's in a defensive posture, he's going to have more roaches coming, but let's see, this is going to be a very tense moment for Stephano. If he does hold, though, he has +1 advantage, he has roach speed advantage, he has layer advantage. Let's find out.
Going straight for the third base, beeline being made, escorting the banelings as well, keeping them fairly hidden. Good target fire here from Stephano to start with. Looking for this detonation, goes to the center, and Stephano losing a lot of banelings.
Where are the rest of the roaches, Stephano? They're not there yet. They're in the main base, and now Symbol has rain onto the natural. Stephano can't afford to lose drones. He can't afford to lose drones.
Oh, no! You can't afford to have that happen. Symbol gets a massive detonation in the center of the mineral line, and Stephano's economic advantage just evaporated in a cloud of green goop. The hatchery is about to fall without question at this stage, and Symbol looking to smash his way through here with that surprise roach push. Stephano, thinking he was in a great position, suddenly unable to respond.
Unable to respond, and now Stephano loses, and naturally can lose his third base as well. It's undefended, and despite having roach speed now and +1 soon to kick in, double evolution chamber, layer finished up, Symbol has what it takes to lead this game further on, and is staring down at a grand final here in New York. Stephano still fighting on, still has 2 hatcheries, but his income down to 800 compared to 12, and Stephano in trouble.
What a fantastic result it would be for Symbol to go through into the grand final against Violet, into a matchup that he obviously has exceptional experience and skill and finesse within. Amazing game sense that we've seen from the start of Symbol's career. It's only been the last couple of months when he surged forward into this position, and now Symbol with a supply advantage, Symbol with a drone advantage.
Indeed he does, and he has better saturation for the time being as well. Has to be careful not to lose these roaches in the middle, and Stephano may force a fight here. Remember, Stephano has an upgraded advantage, has that +1 attack on his roaches here, but looks like the unit count in lead now for Symbol. 18, 19 versus 14, and it's continuing to climb. No third base still from Symbol, who's playing this very cautious. Ling's running to the third base there of Stephano, but gets shut down here, and I love the caution from Symbol, getting +1 carapace. Surprised that he hasn't got +1 melee attack. I think that missile attack. Sorry, I think that's a mistake there. But he's just saying, "Calm down, Symbol. Symbol, you're looking at a final. Just keep calm, and it's going to be at a smooth sail if he doesn't make mistakes."
Yep, don't freak out. You are ahead. Get further ahead. and he continues to do just that. Stephano fending off these little pokes and prods here and there designed to test the defenses of his opponent, and here comes the big army right now from Symbol. We've got 36 roaches for Symbol, only 18 for Stephano. The upgrade advantage will be nullified by this ground carapace. There is no spine crawler at the third. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah, indeed it is. He's morphing Banelings to get rid of the Lings, to get a bit of splash damage across Stephano's roaches. And here comes the final fight of this game, Total Biscuit.
And it's heavily in favor of Symbol without question. He has the numbers. He has the carapace upgrade negating that additional attack advantage. The Banelings come in looking for the killing blow here, not even required. There's the GG, ladies and gentlemen, and Symbol is in the grand final of MLG Spring Arena 2. What an astonishing story that's been, and Stephano loses 4 Zerg versus Zerg maps in a row in admittedly his weakest matchup, and he is now out of the tournament, finishing an extremely respectable 3rd place.
Yeah, and he gets his pool play for the championship as well over at Anaheim, but one guy is the winner of today. I mean, he's had great games today. MC, now Stephano. What are your thoughts on this epic final coming, DJ Wheat and Wolf?
Well, he does walk away with 3,600, I believe. Yeah. So, I mean, it's still a good victory. And we mentioned it earlier, but Stephano is a guy that had to go through the open bracket in the previous MLG championships quite a bit. And so, you know, just being able to bypass that, getting your free pass or get out of jail free card, if you will, is certainly going to be a nice one-up for Stephano. So,
not a bad loss for him. I mean, his performance here was not extremely weak. I mean, it's his worst match. We said that before. He's playing against Symbol, who is arguably his best matchup. He has a lot of Zerg players to practice with. So losing here from a player's perspective, I mean, there's a lot of money on the line that he does not get. But from a player's perspective, it's not too bad to lose to someone like this. I mean, his opponent's control seemed to be better in some of those situations. Stephano taking a few risks, taking the 3rd base while getting those upgrades up last game. He just didn't have enough. He almost did, though. The control, though, of Symbol was a little bit too much for him. And I can't blame Stephano for not being able to hold that. I mean, it was a tough situation to hold, and he did not look weak in this best of 3.
Now, this also sets up a really interesting scenario for the finals, because the finals is a best of 5. So we've got, of course, Violet going up against Symbol now. Violet coming from the upper bracket, which means the first best of 5 happens. If Violet wins, it's over. Congratulations. Violet just won his first MLG event. Big deal. If Symbol wins the initial best of 5, we take it to an extended series best of 9. So either way, Symbol is going to have to take that great play that you were talking about, Total Biscuit and Apollo, and he's going to have to extend that even further, no pun intended.
In a Zerg versus Zerg. That's a terrifying prospect to anybody.
Yeah, and just looking, we're going to, I mean, looking at both of these styles, it seems, you know, both of them equally beat down Stephano, you know, kind of, like, let's get out the way. Just let me get to the final, please. Yeah, and now we're going to have this crazy finals where it can really go either way between Violet and, of course, Symbol. Both of these guys just, I don't think anybody in the world predicted that these guys would be in the final. And not just that, but one of these was going to win the MLG Spring Arena 2.
I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of Symbol. What can I say?
Apart from DJ Wheat, I'm sorry, you predicted Symbol.
Yeah, he did. How many points did he win for that one? I have to wonder.
You know what? If he wins, then there'll be a lot of points. So, you know, but it's a tough decision. Yeah. I think Violet is such an amazing player.
And he's got the advantage in the series as well.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, like we talked about it in his earlier games, amazing that here's a guy who's sort of gone against the grain. He's not living in a Korean team house. He's living in the United States. He practiced on the North American ladder, on the Korean ladder, on the EU ladder. And suddenly all those folks that are like, well, the only way you're ever going to be a superstar in this game is if you're in Korea, embedded in the culture, playing on that server, etc. And he is kind of smashed.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see like a collision here between the TSL Zerg, who actually does practice a ton in a team house in Korea with Zerg specifically for this matchup against someone who is kind of like the lone wolf, the solo guy out there. So this collision of these two different training environments is going to be really cool to see.
And I think one really big advantage that Symbol has going into the finals here is if you, of course, Violet plays on ladder and tournaments across the NA server, but Symbol, as you said, has Revival, a macro-focused Zerg player, but at the same time, he has Hyun, an aggressive Zerg player. He has 2 different styles to bounce around with. that, of course, he lives alongside in the TSL house. So he could come into this with so many different builds, so much versatility, which may catch Violet off guard. Of course, Violet, especially if you're playing online tournaments and on the ladder, you kind of just play one style to get the victory.
Yeah.
You don't really spread across too often.
I'm curious to see what the folks at home think as well. I think we are going to have an Xperia Sony smartphone poll for this one, and I can't wait. I mean, I think that Violet, with his recent wins lately, I think he's going to get a lot of votes. But at the same token, you know, Symbol, Iron Squid, what he's been able to do as of recently, what he's done here in MLG, like, I can't predict this. I have no idea where the polls
Symbol's a story, and I think that's why we're going to be seeing quite a lot of votes in his favor, because he's come from nothing within just a few short months to being a fan favorite, to being highly creative, as well as extremely competent in essentially every single matchup. Does scare me there. Just to make sure TSL doesn't get upset, by the way, we should also remember Shine. That's another great Zerg.
Hey, don't forget TSL Ragnarok as well. Someone hasn't really been able to show himself too much, but he's a very, very good Zerg player as well.
That team's actually terrifying. There we go. We've just figured that one out live here on the show. But we are interested to hear what your thoughts are, Violet or Symbol.
Definitely. So one thing also, I remember in the Iron Squid qualifiers is when I saw Symbol play for the first time, I was like, this guy's got potential.
Pretty good.
If he gets through the group stages, he could win Iron Squid.
Yeah.
He didn't win Iron Squid, but I'm going to claim it if he wins MLG, okay?
He came second. He did come second, only losing to MMA. I think if you were combining the points there, then Symbol's done pretty damn well
then
for
I'll
himself.
get drunk with DJ Wheat tonight.
You need an excuse to get drunk with DJ Wheat tonight?
I'm sorry, man. No.
No.
What are you trying to say? All right, folks.
All right, so coming up next, guys, we are going to have Stephano, an interview with Stephano, I think. Interview with Symbol. Let's hear some thoughts in a couple of minutes' time, guys, so we will be bringing that back in just a couple of minutes' time.